Okay, so semifinal 2 starting. Who will accompany Sinus Apple and Muda in the grand final? That's the question here. Moux, Nexxor, Oliver, and then also Lumatom will battle it out here for 2 spots in the grand final. And let's see who will take it. We are playing the same maps as in the first semifinal and also the same format. So nothing has changed there. As you play cup mode with a point limit of 20 points. And when you have surpassed that threshold, that 120 points threshold, you will activate finalist status. And then if you win one more round in that so-called finalist status, you will go home with the first or second place. And the first place goes home with 10 points, second gets 6, and then 4 and 3 points for third and fourth position, respectively. We play some tracks, we play every track with a warm-up, and then there will be 4 live rounds afterwards. So we have just seen the warm-up, which is 1 minute long, and now we will go into the live round. And let's follow Lumatom here. And we have not really seen too much in this competition because I have not spectated his matches. And let's see what he's doing. So this is a more, SpeedFun heavy matchup, since the other one that I've casted was more the full speed match. So that's really cool. Then we see players who I don't really have or don't really know too much about playing right now. Oliver with an inside approach as Moux really gets himself a lot of speed here in this section, but Oliver still remains in the lead. Lumatom with a mistake as well as Oliver here, and so it's Nexxor and Lumatom in and Moux in first position and second. Okay. Nexxor in first, goes home with the first 10-pointer. Then Lumatom and Oliver in second and third, but a lot of mistakes have happened here. As we see Moux, who is... Wait, why did he respawn? I mean, that's what I hate. The guy respawns before you see what happens, because it's so delayed. But unfortunately, Moux is not able to finish here that first round, so he's not going home with any sort of points, which is not what you want here. So not looking too good for him. Alrighty. Next round, Moux in first, Oliver in second, and then we have Nexxor with a very good line here. Wants to get himself another 10-pointer, and he will actually go into the lead. And Oliver again with a mistake here at that same part. So this is really the make it or break it for him. So not looking too well for him, as we see Luma making a mistake and is now down to P3. Nexxor versus Moux, and Nexxor has the upper hand and will indeed stay in first position with a 56.37 and gets himself another 10-pointer. So Nexxor, Lumatom, and then Moux and Oliver in first, second, third, and fourth position respectively. But looking very good here for Nexxor so far, as he is already at 20 points. So this is a very good performance by him so far. And again, a very good start, but Oliver got it a little bit better. But now we have this part coming up where you really want to get a good apex over the section. And also here, it is Nexxor who really figured this one out the best, as he just goes for the inside approach, but goes maybe a little bit too onside. No, what a great line. But Oliver and Moux got a little bit better here. Oliver not making a mistake this time around, so the 10-pointer is not in Nexxor's hand here, as he gets an auto slide, so he will fall down more behind here, and also Lumatom will overtake him. Moux versus Oliver here in the ending. Moux with more speed. Moux could take it. Good ending, and Moux will indeed clock in that 10-pointer with a 56.15. But what a great fight here between Oliver and Moux. Moux only getting himself that 10-pointer since he got that low jump. So greatly done by him. Greatly done. And therefore Moux, after a very bad first round and also not that good of a second round, is now up to 14 points and only 1 point behind that second place. Going into the last round here on the Golden Age. Lumatom making a mistake on his own map. This is not good for him. So he really needs to rely on mistakes if he wants to get himself some sort of points. Moux versus Nexxor here. Again, Nexxor with a good approach. So he wants to get himself that 10 pointer again. Moux and Oliver still lurking in the shadow here. Good approach from Oliver and also from Moux. So it's a 3-man fight here for that first position. Oh, Oliver inside approach here. Moux, however, with a godlike slide here. And again, looks strong here to get himself another 10 pointer. No way. Moux makes a mistake there to the right. Fully bonks into the turbo. And therefore, Oliver and Nexxor will capitalize from that. But despite that mistake, he still finishes in P3. So let's take a look into the standings here after I drank a little bit of water. Refreshing tap water. So Nexxor with 30 points in first. Then we have Oliver behind, but no one has majorly fallen behind here. As we can see, Moux, who had the chance to get himself up to 24 points. But unfortunately has made a mistake here in the ending on the prior map. So this map is also not that easy, I would say. But one of the shorter maps. So this could be over quick. 50 seconds in length. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, if you want to push it, every map is really risky in this SpeedFun genre. But here it seems that there's 1 or 2 turns that are really hard and the rest is like straightforward. Just my opinion about it. But yeah, let's go here. Let's go into the first round here on familiar grounds. Good luck to the people here. And let's follow Oliver here. Oh, Oliver with the first mistake, actually. So the caster's curse is kicking in yet again. That's not good for him. Let's see what Nexxor is doing. Can he march through this semi-final here? Looking really good. Also a nice line over this stretch here as he's extending his lead. Now Moux and Lumatom are in second and third position. But Lumatom has made a mistake, so it's Moux who is settling in that second spot. Nexxor really strong here on this track. Will that be a 50 time? Let's see. Not quite yet, but a 51.28 will seal the deal. And now he's up to 40 points, so great performance by him so far. Really great performance for him, or of him. And now there is the next round coming up, where Lumatom has dropped to the last spot here. 22 points for him. But still it is pretty equal here between second and fourth position, as only Nexxor is majorly ahead with 40 points here for him. But now Moux wants to say something against that. He says, yo, I want that 10 pointer. But Nexxor, what a godlike line by him. And he's just pressing B for boost here. But what a fight neck and neck for that first place here. 0.039 between both of the players. But Moux has the upper hand. But don't say that without Nexxor. He is again pushing it here. And yet another 10 pointer for him. And Moux has to settle in second. So this guy, man. Crazy ending. Really greatly done. Really greatly done by him so far. Okay. Second to last round here on familiar grounds. We see Nexxor, however, the leader of this race, falling behind, as well as Moux. So between Oliver and Luma, I mean, who are both sitting in second and third and fourth position and are happy that they can get themselves a 10-pointer, because usually the 10-pointer is occupied by Nexxor, but Lumatom with a good line here in this section, and he looks strong here to get himself a 10-pointer. Yes, indeed. Oliver in second, and then who's in third? It will be Moux in third, and then there is Nexxor who finishes in last and only gets himself 3 points. So yeah, now it's getting a bit cozy here between that second place, as Lumatom moves from last to second position. And Moux is only 1 point behind Oliver and 1 additional point behind Lumatom, or behind Tom. So very close so far here between that lower 3 placements. But Nexxor was stumbling as well in that other round and hasn't the best start here in this round again. So Nexxor not looking strong here, as well as Oliver making a mistake here. So Luma and Moux are fighting it out this time. Moux with a good line, but look at Nexxor. Nexxor gets so much speed and now is just eating Tom alive here, as Moux still remains in the lead. Lumatom with the attack, but goes a little bit too far outside. Moux with a crazy good line here and will secure that 10-pointer here. Indeed, he will, with a 51.20, so really great times. Nexxor in second, Lumatom in third, and then we have Oliver finishing in last. So now going to the next map. Okay, so third map coming up. Third map will be The Wrong Way by Chrishan. And this map is really hard, since if you make a mistake before that, you are dead. And then there's the 5-head, the 5-Kopf. And yeah, the standings, no one really walked away. I mean, Nexxor, yeah, tiny bit. But the other players still have a chance, and everyone has gotten some good amount of points throughout some races. So this is looking really good for all of them. So it's still even. And if there's one good map for, I don't know, Moux, Oliver, or also for Tom, they can make it happen. Nexxor getting the ending, and there you can see that this is possible, as well as Moux. So great warm-up. It is possible. It is possible that a player will completely fall apart now. But hopefully this won't happen, as we have the third map coming up here. The Wrong Way by Chrishan. And let's see. Oliver didn't really get the best start here, but no one makes a mistake here. Oliver with loss of his grip, but still he is able to stay on track. Nice air brake to get that nosedive. Also gets more speed than Nexxor here, but Nexxor remains at lead. 0.1 of a lead for him in this section. Oliver tries to SD. You can see he plays with keyboard with the tapping. But yeah, look at Nexxor. He is unstoppable on this map, but he still has to do that long right-hander and the ending, which comes up now. So Nexxor is not safe yet, as he didn't really get the best approach here in this section. And Nexxor actually fails it. I just forecasted it. And Oliver is overtaking Nexxor here in the ending. Well needed 10 points for Oliver. Wow, what a crazy ending here from Nexxor. but still gets home with that second place. Wow, I just completely cursed him. What the hell? Alright, next round. Nexxor almost touches there. That was really close of failing it. And it's actually Oliver this time around, finding himself 0.4 behind. And in last position, Moux and Lumatom are behind Nexxor here. So we'll have a new winner here who hasn't won this map yet. Moux versus Nexxor here at the top. Let's see what Moux is doing. Good approach, but Nexxor got it better. But he still has to do the ending. Moux comes closer a little bit, just a tiny bit. But Nexxor will survive it indeed. Despite Moux got a really good ending, it wasn't quite enough. So Nexxor again with a 10-pointer here. Moux in second, Lumatom in third, and then we have Oliver after that mistake in the beginning in last. Alright, next round on the wrong way here. We see Oliver with a good section, but loses grip there and also touches there. So he steered in too early. That wasn't good. Wasn't how you want to do it. And now Nexxor is in the lead. Nexxor is again in the lead, and he looks strong to move up to 85 points and has a very considerable lead with that. Or will gain a considerable good lead with that. So Nexxor versus Moux. In that ending, Moux again with more speed than Nexxor, but only a tiny bit. But Nexxor still has to survive that ending. But both made a small mistake, so it was enough for Nexxor to go home with the 10-pointer here again. Last round on the wrong way. Who will take home that 10-pointer? It's safe to say that Moux has a very hard task since he had to respawn. But let's see what Oliver is doing here in this round. Oliver just behind Nexxor again. Nexxor with a very dominant performance throughout this whole semifinal. Despite he stumbled a bit on the prior map, but he has come back very strong. Oliver could also be happy about that 6-pointer, because we can see Lumatom here attacking him, but he had a really bad line, and therefore Oliver will stay barely in second position, Luma in third, and then Moux after that respawn in last. And yeah, Nexxor with a 49.51. What a great time. So Nexxor, crazy performance, mad respect on this track. Wow, so great performance here from Nexxor, going to the next map, which is DK. So let's see, the second place will also go through, and it's pretty close here between Moux, Oliver, and Lumatom. So it is everyone's match here. It is safe to say that Nexxor has a very easy task here to get himself the finalist mode first, because he's already more than 30 points ahead. But for that second place, you can't really tell. You can't tell who is gonna take it. Okay, so players are roaming up here, and Nexxor is doing it very good. And we are alive here. Wait, what? Nexxor did a .57 in the warm-up. Holy moly, man. So he has definitely put some practice into those tracks. So let's see what Nexxor is doing here. Oh, he has made the mistake actually. So Nexxor won't get himself up to the 3-digit point mark. So now the 10 pointer is up on stake again for the players. Moux, Oliver and Lumatom are here. So far it's looking good for Moux and Oliver to go home with the 10 pointer. But now this part will be the decider. Who releases more, who releases less. Moux with a lot of risks here. And Moux will indeed take that 10 pointer here with a 47.88. Great time. Oliver behind. And then we have Lumatom in third. And Nexxor with only 3 points here in this round. But still is, I would say, yeah, less than 30 points now ahead. But still has a lead of 25 points. Which is very, very hard to catch up to. Still a very great line here from Moux in the ending. Oh, Moux with a mistake this time around. So this is not what you want to do here. Of course, you don't want to respawn Nexxor again in that first position as it seems, but he made a mistake. Wait, where are the other players? Oliver and Lumatom are more than 1 second or almost a second behind Nexxor here, who's just getting himself the freest 10 pointer of his life as it seems. And yes, indeed, he will do so. As we see, Lumatom now 2 seconds behind and in second position. So a mistake with a lot of round with a lot of mistakes here, and Lumatom will capitalize from that. And Nexxor also with a sub 48. So that's a good time. That's a very good time. So Lumatom coming a bit closer here to Moux, to that second place, and also to Oliver. But it is still more than 10 points here for that second place. Nexxor and Moux battle for P1 and 2. Nice cancelling here from Moux. Really nice reaction time, and was able to not slide, because if you slide around, you will, if you slide, you will lose your grip, and didn't really get the best line, and also lose speed. So all things that you want to avoid. Yes, we see Nexxor marching through, and this looks like a banger of a time from Nexxor. This could be a mid 47. And this is not a mid 47, just looked like that, but it's 47.94, great time, which will put him up to 118 points. I thought that time was a bit better, but yeah, that wasn't the case. So Nexxor only one finish away of getting to the finalist mode, and he could well do it here on the last round on the DK by Moux himself. Let's spectate Tom, who's at 69 points. Good start, super close there for him. But was able to stay on track and not making a mistake here, which is really important. So this time around, a 4-man battle here for that first place. Who's risking more? Moux falls a bit behind, didn't get the best line, as we see Lumatom going over into the lead. No, never mind, it's Nexxor, Oliver, Moux, Lumatom, everyone in the mix. What a crazy round. The ending will decide it. We have only a couple of more turns, but now the NASCAR part will come up. Moux, dead. Nexxor is in first. Lumatom is pressurizing him. Lumatom could make the ending happening, but no, Nexxor will deny some points. But great round here from all the players. Too bad that Moux has made a mistake here in the ending, but he's still able to finish. But yeah, really close round. So Nexxor up to finalist mode to going into the next map. So one more warm-up again. And then then it could be over and out here for the first player who could accompany Sinus Apple and Muda in the grand final. So good luck to them. Alright, so Nexxor looking good in the warm-up, but the live round there's something else. Pressure is on the line. There's a prize pool of €55 in this competition, where the first goes home with 35, second with 15, and the third place with €5. So, first finest attempt from Nexxor. Let's go ahead and spectate him and see if he can use it. Can he make it happen? Or are the others denying them and getting themselves some points to their accounts? Nexxor, godlike line, a lot of speed for him, and this looks super good. He's already 0.1 of a second ahead. He's just on another level. Moux had to respawn. Oliver is also dead here in this section. Has almost made the mistake. And then there's also Lumatom, who is there. But no one can stand a chance here against Nexxor, who is using his first finest attempt. Nexxor is joining Sinus Apple and Moda in the grand final. Well played, very dominant performance with a 46.08, making it well played. GG. Yeah, really dominant and great performance here by Nexxor, and this will get himself a ticket into the final. Okay, Lumatom is dead here in this round. Moux with a lot of speed. Oliver, however, is in first. So we have one more spot in the grand final, and one of those three players could take it here. As we see Moux with 88 points, and then also Oliver. Oh my god, what was that line by Oliver? Holy moly, man. He's just pushing it here, and he wants to go up to 93 points with that. What an illegal line by Oliver, clocking in a 46.30. Greatly done. So that was a statement from Oliver towards Moux. Wow, crazy line. Wow, what a crazy ending by him. So 94 points for Moux and 93 points for Oliver. So it seems that the fight goes on here between Moux and Oliver, but just when I said that, it is actually Oliver making a mistake, and Tom. Ooh, also Tom is really capitalizing from a mistake from Moux. So I wanted to say before that it's likely that Tom is not qualifying himself to the grand final, but now tables have turned and he is up to that first place and could get himself some really valuable points. Yes, indeed, he will stay in first, and this is really important for him. Oliver is coming closer though, but Tom has just saved it. Really smart decision, and therefore Tom up to 89 points. But the others are coming closer and closer towards that finest mode. But still, there was a good point gain here for Tom, who's now only 10 points behind Oliver, who is in second position. Moux in first now again. Maybe he doesn't make a mistake here. No, he doesn't. Where is Oliver? Oliver is completely dead. He is more than 10 seconds behind. You can safely say that. Let's see. He is 13 seconds behind, and I think he's not able to finish. So Oliver's crumbling like a Subway cookie here, and this means that Lumatom and Moux will get so much more points here. As you can see, Lumatom in second, Moux in first. And then we have Oliver, who is most likely not able to finish. He has 3 more seconds. Nope, it's not enough. And Oliver not getting himself any points. And this is super good here for Moux, who's up to 108 points now. Okay, this could be the last map. I think technically, no, I think it's not possible. Because if Oliver wins 2 rounds now, or wins 3 rounds now, okay. And then Lumatom gets last all rounds, so he gets 4. Yeah, it is not technically the last map, but it could be the last map. Potentially. So, we will see here. Who will qualify to the grand final and join Muda, Nexxor and Sinus Apple. Will it be Oliver? Will it be Moux? Or will Tom make a comeback as he's already getting closer and closer towards Oliver here? So Tom can make something happen. This could be the decider. This is the make it or break it. But Oliver here wins the warm-up. Oliver wins the warm-up here over Moux. And hello Volvora. And thanks for your follow. I really appreciate it. And welcome to the stream. Okay, so this could be the last map here of the semi-final. Let's go into the first round. This start is really decisive because you really need to get a good landing. Moux has shown us how you have to do it and is therefore up in that first place. Where is Tom? Tom is in 3rd position. Oliver is chasing him. He's chasing Moux, but now goes over into the lead. Oh, close fight here between Oliver and Moux. Lumatom is 0.3 behind, so he can make something happen. Moux versus Oliver. Who's risking it more? Oliver with the outside approach, but Moux with a mistake here. So Moux is falling behind. And Oliver therefore as well. And Lumatom with a crazy risky ending. Taking that 10-pointer. Definitely what he was in need of. And now it's 105 for Oliver. 105 for Tom. And then we have 112 points for Moux. What a crazy ending. So now it's getting closer and closer here. 7 points between 4th and 2nd position. This could go everyone's way here, as Moux is only 1 victory away of getting himself into the finalist mode. And the others are at least 2 rounds away of it. Oliver, great start for him, as Moux wants to get himself up to that finalist mode and can have a bit of a breather, because a 2nd place is not enough. A 2nd place will put him up to 118 points, which is not that good for him. Oliver in the lead, and he is looking like to deny Moux here the finalist mode. Also Tom in the mix. Tom with a good section. Moux not with a good landing here in the slope or anywhere. So Moux is not getting himself the finalist mode here. Oliver gets 1st, Tom in 2nd, and then Moux only with 4 points here in this round. But now it means that if he finishes the round afterwards, he is getting himself the finalist mode. But this could be a triple finalist situation. If Tom gets 1st and Oliver 2nd, it is a triple finalist situation. But let's not say that one too early here. Let's go here into the next round. Very close match as Tom and Moux getting the best start. And yeah, looking really good here for Moux to deny some points and get himself the finalist mode. And yes, indeed, looking very good for him. Is 0.4 ahead. And where is Oliver? Oliver is super far behind as Tom gets a slow landing, but I think Moux got that landing as well. So I think that was a lucky round here for Moux, that he eventually stays in the lead. I'm not sure if that was a slowdown or anything. I don't know. But Moux up to finalist mode now. Oliver with the face slap. Tom up to 117 points. And let's see what Moux will do here. Will Moux qualify to the grand final? There's only one more spot left. Nexxor, Sinus Apple, and also Muda are awaiting in this grand final. Good luck. Tom with a good start. So if Moux is not taking it, we will have a triple final situation. Because if every player finishes, they are just getting themselves finalist mode. They are only 3 points away at max. Tom and Oliver is at 119. So yeah. Oh, Tom with a good line, but there's also Moux. But it is Tom making that mistake. And let's see, Oliver has to risk it here in the ending. Oliver has nothing to lose, and Moux is taking it. Moux qualifying to the final. GG. He had the strongest nerfs in the end and eventually taking it.